Arm ink. Don't knock it till you tried it. Stay with me for a second. I know that it's really a challenge because you've been living on YouTube and you've been on Facebook and all these other things that are getting us to be completely hyperactive and ADD, which is interesting that more and more people now have ADD and hyperactivity disorder and all these other things that are great to sell pills for than there was in the early 1900s. A lot of times people think that their diseases and their illnesses and all the things that they have are genetic, but wait a minute. In the early 1900s, those things weren't nearly as bad. In fact, it was very rare for someone to get cancer or illnesses. Look it up. It's crazy, and I'm sure you will look it up, but you'll be halfway in there and then you'll start looking up something else because we can't get anything done because we can't focus anymore. This is me with one sleeve up, just so you know. Why can't we focus? Because we've been trained not to. We've been trained to lose our focus. You know why? Because if we lose our focus, then you can sell us anything. You can get us to buy anything, and you can get us all excited about anything that you want to do if you're the leaders of this whole thing. This is me with the other sleeve up. You are this unlimited thing, but you don't know that anymore. You've been trained by movies and songs to be addicted to a certain person and lose the addiction to yourself and learn to know who you are. You actually are under the illusion that people outside of you are more important than you. I know I sure do all the time. So we think that you complete me, and when you say that, you're saying I'm incomplete without you. We live in a world where you had something that you've now lost, but you could get back. You had this unlimited thing. Go back to when you were a kid. What did you do? All you did was you create. You created. And then as time went on, the news scared you, and then churches told you you'll go to hell if you do this, and society turns you into a consumer. You will start to feel limited. You will start to feel worried. You will start to move from a different place. And all these things that you wanted to do when you were a little kid. Remember when you were a little kid and you wanted to just create? You didn't care what people thought. My hat goes both ways. Your natural state was just to create. And what else? When you were a little kid, you knew what you wanted to do. You wanted to be an astronaut. You wanted to be the president. You were so clear on it. And as time goes on, society and people that have chosen to fail on their goals start to tell you, oh, it's not that easy. You're not going to make it. So you start to be scared to state what you want to be, because as you get older, the more you get older, we've set it up where if you have a dream and you have a vision and you want to say it, everyone else thinks that you're crazy. But you're not crazy. You have the right to say this stuff. This is the other way it goes. That's all we're doing. Even haters are hating on people, but there's people hating on the haters, which is doing the same thing. Every one of the people that is being hated on, whether you're a hater or you're a person being hated on, we don't know the story. And all you're saying when you're angry is that you're saying, this is what I choose to focus on. Any human being can find the good or the bad in any other person. And if any person says what's good or bad about a person, they're saying, this is what I choose to look at. Because if you complain about something, you're overlooking something that was really good about them. You can go into any video and you can learn something about it. You can go to any person and see the good in them. But we live in a world now where if you do something really successful, everyone around you is going to talk shit about you. And you'll start to believe the people around you. You think the people around you know for you. I remember when I was younger and I wanted to get a car, and I remember my brother said I should get one car, and the girl I was dating another time said you should get this other one. And I remember thinking, you guys need to make up your mind. And I didn't even think it was weird or a problem that I didn't know what I wanted, because we are so conditioned to make everybody else happy. And if you're trying to make one person outside of you happy at all, you're going to live as a people pleaser, which is the biggest form of control. All the time people are pleasing other people, and they're saying like, here, I'm giving you this, but deep down they're thinking, now you owe me. So it's not even a real giving. We have to live in a place where we understand that we are complete as is. You are completely complete as is. You don't need any external person to make you happy. You don't need any specific job to make you happy. You have the internet. You can create anything you want. You can go, what are the skills that I have and how can I learn more? And you might go, yeah, that's not true. Well, why don't you look at what you've done so far? Have you used all the assets you have? Because we have the internet. You have all these capabilities, but no one's using those things. They do use it, but they go on to just get entertained. Bro, did you see that game last night? Yeah, a group of guys played against another group of guys. Yeah, that one city won. Well, no, they're not actually from that city, but they say that. Yeah, no, I was a part of it. I mean, I paid to get in there, but yeah, it was a good game. Alright, I'm done talking into my pen alcohol. To get short-term entertained, that's all you want to do. You go on the thing and just go, did anyone write on my wall? And then you go on there, and then all of a sudden Facebook takes you on a ride, and YouTube takes you on a ride, and all of a sudden you've ended your day and you feel sweaty and smelly, and all of a sudden nothing got done. So you get a little bit depressed, and when you get more depressed, you suddenly need more things to make you happy. You suddenly go, I need this thing to make me happy, or I need this thing to make me happy. So you start buying more things because you feel like crap, because you want that instant pleasure versus actually actually fixing the thing that's bothering you. The ability that you have is being repressed. You don't understand that. So what else do we do? Then we look at the TV and we start to trust the news, and the news just picks and chooses what they show us. They could show us anything they want and we just totally believe it. Have you ever seen a mom talk in front of her kid? If she has a bottle but she wants to do her own thing, she will spell out the word bottle. She'll be like, should we give him this B-O-T-T-L-E? In that one instance, that mom took away that kid's knowledge that she had the bottle so she could move on with her own agenda. Now imagine if you were power hungry and you owned this world and you had 7 billion kids and you didn't love them, and you wanted to make a lot of money by doing things like have wars. You would suddenly manipulate any way you want, and if you owned the media and you owned the thing that we're watching, you would immediately make it one way or the other. And then we get all caught up in politics like they're real. Do you guys understand that fixing this, no matter who we put in the office, doesn't fix a real problem? You understanding who you actually are, that's the start of fixing a real problem. But you're under this illusion that, oh, if this guy goes into the office or this guy goes in the office, it's better. It's wrestling, you guys. We're watching wrestling. You know, it's kind of like when Hulk Hogan does a thing, but then another wrestler shows up and everyone gets all excited about that guy. And then later Hulk Hogan comes back and he's now a bad guy and everyone's like, oh, it's different. We're still watching WWF. We have to dislodge from WWF. I was on this TV show once and my mug is dirty. It's also rude to just expect that everyone else should change everything for you. If something is making you mad, if you're a hater and something's making you mad, you can understand that you're saying, I'm so weak that I'm bothered by this other thing existing. Why don't you just focus on what you do want? Why don't you focus on watching videos you do like? Why don't you focus on creating the career you do want? Because if you get consumed in what you do want, if you go, I want to become successful, I want to become amazing, if you get consumed in that, guess what happens? You don't even notice the things that are bothering you because they're not around because you're focused on this thing. If you've been conditioned to have your mind go every single place and then you go, well, I feel like crap, I feel incomplete as is, so I'm going to hoard as many things as possible. Man, I've sure worn this jacket a lot lately. That's right, I lettered in band and bowling. Couldn't keep the bitches off me. But if you think those things complete you, guess what? All of a sudden you will hold on to them even more. You know why you get really excited when you go on a week of vacation? Because suddenly you're not around all those things and you can let go of them for the first time. And there's things that we have that we don't need that are like eight years that we haven't touched it and everything. And we just hold all these things, but these are the same as our emotions and our story. We hold a story about our childhood and we go, here's a bad memory of me. Everybody hear this. This is my story. And then we hold on to this thing and it's just crazy because we have all these good memories and we don't choose to hold on to them. And all these people all the time are doing this. So because everyone around you does it, it just becomes normal. And we're getting crazy. We are getting crazy as a society. So we're under the illusion that we're free. We're under this crazy illusion that we're free. You keep saying that we're free, but guess what? We're not free at all. If you put an animal in a cage and you keep throwing little different foods in there and you make the animal feel like it's not worth anything, it won't try to get out of the cage because it doesn't know the cage is there. I have choice. I have freedom of choice. We're so crazy because we think we have the freedom of choice. We're like, God, I'm so lucky. I can choose Applebee's or Chili's. No, you don't have the freedom of choice. You do have the freedom of choice, but you're not accessing it. There's a real freedom of choice. A choice where you're not held down by what your circumstances are, where you don't think that who you are is the job you have. You can create something amazing. It is so easy to make money. It is so easy to do all these different things, you know, and it is so easy to let go of someone too. You know, people go, well, I'm really depressed because I broke up with this person. Because you've been taught to be depressed over a person. Remember when you're 5 and you didn't need a girlfriend or a boyfriend? And then eventually you learn from society that the way it works is you gotta have someone to be happy because the movies say lines like, you complete me, and you start getting, oh, I'm completed with this person. And so eventually you break up with the person, which just means now you're in a new stage in your life. Forever isn't even true because eventually one of you dies and then the other one does. You were just in the moment. We get so entangled with someone when we think that we're going to be with them forever. In fact, we aren't even spending the now with them because we're busy trying to figure out if we're in the future. In those 3 seconds, you didn't care about who you were dating or who you weren't dating anymore or your past. So we're not even having real relationships. We grab onto something and go, look, we're going to make a deal. Are we together forever? And then we enjoy very little time together because we're always in the past and the future. We're in the future saying we're together forever, right? And we're in the past because we go, wow, well, that time you blew it. Or remember this thing? You'll notice eventually people that you're dating, unless you're really connected to yourself and they're connected to themselves and really understand that that person doesn't complete you, you will start to just come up with all these memories and you'll go, do you remember that time we were at this place? And you'll just notice that your memories that are really amazing are different locations. Remember when we were in Monterey? That was really good. No, the truth is you were just in a new location, so you let go of all your crap and you feel real good, and that person happened to be right next to you. Remember when we went to that concert and we saw that band? That was fun. No, you enjoyed the band and that person was next to you. So you're enjoying the band and you're associating happiness to it, and then you're looking at the person, you're thinking that person's making you happy. No, the music is hitting you, but you're choosing to be open to the music, so you are making you happy. The truth is you're just this moment right now. You're under this illusion that what is going on is I am my past. I am these stories, because you hear people all the time say, well, I was beaten as a kid, or that person dumped me, or that person cheated on me 5 years ago, or screw that guy. Now you're sitting here in this moment mad because of something a guy did 5 years ago. Are you crazy? I'm talking to myself too, because I've been conditioned too. But we are unlimited. We are able to do whatever the hell we want, and you are free. If when I said you're free, you felt yourself analyzing it, like you could feel your kind of left brain kicking in going, am I free? That thing that's analyzing, you didn't have nearly as much when you were a little kid. That's the thing that's developed to just keep you alive. That's the thing that's making sure you're safe. That's your survival mechanism, and it's just supposed to make sure you don't run in the street or go into a fire, but you're using it a little bit all day. And if you lived this life like it was a dream, and you just decided you weren't going to hurt anyone, but you did anything you wanted like it was a dream, you suddenly not be stressing. And if we weren't stressing, we wouldn't need all these pills, but you can let go of all that stuff. There is a lot of money to be made in us stressing. There's a ton of money to be made in us being sick. That's another thing. We're born just starting to eat things that aren't naturally supposed to be eaten. We're shoving way too many calories into ourselves. We're shoving way too many things into our bodies, and we're sitting here going, why are we depressed? Coke dissolves nails, for Christ's sakes. And we're sitting here going, yeah, I'll just have, I have this thing. And then we start to blame genetics or think that the thing is us. Oh, well, I have this thing where I just have to drink Coke. It's just my thing. I have to drink it. But I wish I could lose weight. You don't, because if you want to lose weight, you would. You're not addicted to the thing. That word is used as an excuse to stop you from changing. If you really want to change, of course you can. Do you think that if you stop drinking that you'll die? No. It's just a matter of willpower and how bad you want it. You're not your stories in your past. You're not your stories in your future. You're not the people that you're dating. You're not your job. You're not anything. You're just this moment. You guys want to know why I'm great? Because who I am is someone who's dating her.
Hey, I don't like how I look in this.
Realize right now there is no past. It's fictional. But if you're talking about it, it's like carrying a backpack, and and why are you talking about it? To get people's approval, because you think that you need that. But only you can change you. And all the time people say that stuff to us, and we're so conditioned to even hear that and think it's corny, because a guy showed up at our high school in a dare suit and he's like, you guys, you can do it. And then it's like bullshit, and the kids are all making fun of it, so you just learn all your life motivation is BS. But it's the main thing that drives us. It's who we are. It's the most important thing. Meanwhile, it's just normal to just waste this one life just eating crap and feeling like crap and bitching about people. Why is it acceptable in this society to just talk shit about everybody all the time, not do anything about it, not change ourselves, not use that information to have a good life, but just to sit there and be mad? I am not what you think of me. I am able to express myself, and anyone else is able to express themselves too. And the second they understand that, they can just do that, but their fear of what other people think about them is stopping them. So guess what? You have the ability to express yourself, and it'll be really hard the first few days because everyone will be like, whoa, you've changed, you're crazy. And you can go, yeah, you know what? You haven't. Enjoy your life, because you only have one of them. And if something bothers you, don't focus on it anymore. Leave it. If you want something, go after that. But literally what we're doing when we hate something would be like getting in the car and driving to the city we don't want to go to. There's all kinds of other cities you could go to, but there's a lot of cities in America I wouldn't go to anymore, because all they are Walmarts next to a Olive Garden. Focus on what you do want. There's no way if you say what you do want, I want to be happy, I want this kind of career, I want this person in my life, I want this stuff, I want these things. Don't say what you don't want. Don't say, I don't want to be nervous anymore. That's saying that's like typing in a MapQuest, don't take me to Tacoma. Say what you do want. I want this in a person. And watch when you say what you want, how habitually you want to say what you don't want. Well, what do you want? I just don't want to be so fat. Don't say that. Say I want to be healthy. Say, well, what do you want? Oh, I don't want this person to be so mean to me anymore. Okay. So what do you want? I want to have this person be nice to me. Okay. And then when you realize what you do want, you got to become that. You want that person to be nice to you? Be nice to them. And then don't do it people-pleasing. Don't do it and wait for their reaction. Just be nice. Be happy. Be positive. It's crazy. I also just don't like Rick Perry.